Ahem. Hello there. Today I am here to talk about the spring anime season of 2024. I have pre-selected a few examples of new anime titles for the season to talk about. Perhaps they will be great. Perhaps they will be not freeing. Highly likely. So let's get started and not lose time because we have a bunch of stuff to talk about today. This is a very hefty season. We have too many anime. And of course, normal people don't have time to watch all of these titles. Lots of isekai as usual. Most of them are not good because they are isekai. But let's get started. The first one I'm going to talk about is Studio Apartment, good lighting, angel included. And this is an anime, a romance with an angel girl, stated as harem and mythology. It reminds me a little bit of Tonikawa. Small studio, same as Tomodachi Game. It seems to be a really light slice of life romance. Your standard stuff. If you're looking for a light romance slice of life stuff, this might be your cup of tea. Or not. I'm not going to show the trailers because I don't want to be copyright striked, but the trailers shall be in the description for you guys to see. I'm going to zoom in because it's important, because this screen is too big. In any case, I don't have a lot to talk about this one beyond what has been said. So let's talk a little bit about Train to the End of the World. This one caught my interest due to its animation style and especially to the soundtrack, at least on the trailer. It sounds really Mega Man-esque, which is nice. I really like it. And it sounds really fun and interesting. A certain town in the suburbs. This was not an ordinary countryside town that you could find anywhere. The residents were experiencing a strange phenomena, but even so, Shizuru Chikura held a strong desire. She wanted to see her missing friends again. So, Shumatsu Train Dokoiku. It's cute girls piloting a train to look for her friend with this awesome soundtrack. And the studio is EMT Squared. From anime like Beast Tamer. It's not that big of a studio, but the premise seems nice. We have this April Fool's thing. I think it already started actually today. We'll see how it goes. The cast seemed really funny, interesting, and the premise, although we don't know a lot about it. The animation seems good enough to hold if the cast is just as good as the premise. So that's it about the Train to the End of the World. Next, we have an isekai, Re-Monster. Tomokui Kanata has been reincarnated in the weakest goblin, named Goburo, after having undergone an unfortunate death. However, Goburo has retained his memories, an unusual evolution, as well as becoming strong enough to gain status boosts from eating. So, it's an isekai about a guy that becomes a goblin. It's from Studio Dean. It made old Rurouni Kenshin and Yurusei Yatsura and Sailor Moon Crystal and Konosuba. Animation seems simple, but the studio has a lot of potential. So, and it has Rei in the beginning, and I don't remember seeing any anime that starts with Rei that let me down in any production, if this ever means anything to you. So maybe check it out. It seems funny if you like anime. It seems one of the most interesting ones of this season as I've checked out. Next, we have probably the number one must-watch anime of the season. We have Spice and Wolf, the new anime project. It starts April 2nd. Today is April 1st, so starting basically right now. It's from a very interesting old series called Spice and Wolf, about this wolf girl and this merchant. It's an all adult fantasy, so it can be probably seen as something kind of like this is from, as I mentioned, I didn't mention, the studio Pasone. It made Higurashi, and it also make Ishuzoku reviewers. Next, we have another anime that I'm definitely going to watch. It's Bartender Glass of God. I've been recommended the source material multiple times by people I consider a lot. Essentially, there's this more or less hidden bar in Japan, and the guy is a bartender and he makes cocktails. It's a really good premise. As I mentioned, it's a seinen anime about this Japanese bartender. The manga is highly regarded from people that I know, and this is the second anime of the studio that made The Ice Guy and His Cool Colleague. It's another more or less adult-ish anime from recent time. The staff is very diverse, so there could be really good stuff coming in this anime form, and the trailer also seems really nice. The animation seems solid, and so this is also one of the animes that I'm definitely going to watch. Next up, we have a shoujo anime, A Condition Called Love. It's about this girl who can't understand romance, and then she gets confessed to by a boy that she will end up finding cute. The voice work is led by Chiaki Kobayashi, who made Mash Burn Dead and Stark from Frieren, and Kana Hanazawa, who made Mayuri, Ichika Nakano, Mitsuru Kanroji, and multiple other characters. So we have a very good pair of voice actors for this romance that's coming out. From the trailer, I really liked it. It seems a little bit fresher. Next up, we have another shonen. I don't know if this is another, probably the first shonen on this list. It's Windbreaker from Cloverworks. This is more or less your delinquent type of anime. Reminds a little bit of Toka Revengers and other stuff, probably a little bit of Buchigiri, but the animation is extremely solid. From the trailers, Cloverworks never disappoint in my point of view on that side of presentation. A little bit around the synopsis. Haruka Sakura wants nothing to do with weaklings. He's only interested in the strongest of the strong. He just started the high school. At Furin High School, a school of degenerates, known only for their brawling strength. And that's more or less the story goes to. As I mentioned, the animation looks really great and interesting. We have a producer from Your Lie in April, Spy Family, Akebi-chan, and Fate Babylonia, and it's directed by the people who made Fullmetal Alchemist and Fate Babylonia. So we have a staff that's extremely competent on their previous works. As I mentioned, Cloverworks has been having a very consistent release on good quality material, even on the side of works that were a little bit more quiet or chill, let's say, like the example of Akebi-chan that I mentioned. So I do recommend, I don't know if it's a must watch. It may be a must watch if you're really into shonen and if you're more into these works of like delinquent type of battles and stuff like that. Next, we have something that's very different from the previous title that I mentioned. It's Girls Band Cry. It's a surprisingly good CG anime about a girl trying to build her band. After Bocchi the Rock, I got really interested into these types of anime about like music anime. And this one, it's not the only one in this list. We have two music related probably anime that I'll be talking today. This one is the first. I got surprised by the CG. It reminds me a bit of a CG anime that I watched some time ago. I think it was Nighthead. The animation style seems really similar to that, but it's in a very different context. It's by Toei Animation, so you know Toei, you know who it is, and anyway. But one thing that I found interesting is that we have series composition from Steins Gate and A Place Further in the Universe. So, at least from the trailers and what it sounds like, it's going to be at least a very visually interesting, a very nicely composed title to watch. Not necessarily a must watch, but something to have to look forward to depending on the public reaction. Another shonen-esque title, it's more of a tokusatsu in any case, Sentai Daishikaku Go Go Loser Ranger. It's an anime that I've been looking for some time now. It's finally coming out. Yeah, this week it's coming out. Essentially, it's an anime about let's say a monster who infiltrates the ranger force of the anime, and lots of shenanigans happen. So it's more tokusatsu sci-fi ranger-like anime. If you like that kind of stuff, it's really good. I've watched one recently called The Metallic Rouge, also good, but not of the season, so I'm not talking about it today. It's from Yostar Pictures. They make a lot of gacha-related anime. One that's coming out now that I'm going to talk about today is Blue Archive, but it has some interesting staff that worked on Tiger and Bunny, Gundam Unicorn, and more. And by the trailers, it also looks a really well composed and well animated piece. We're going to see, but I do recommend having your mind around it if you like action anime, tokusatsu especially. Next we have more of a lighter anime. If you're looking for a most comedic slice of life piece, it's Jisan Basan Wakagaeru. It's grandpa and grandma turning young again. Really cute concept. Grandpa and grandma are up to no good and then become young, and then there's their youngish shenanigans. 1 to 3 episodes to see if it's my cup of tea. It's a rom-com slice of life about, like I said, it's by Studio Gecko. Next one, we have another anime by Tezuka Productions. Recently they made, I think it was I Am a Hero, which I watched and really liked. They also made Pluto, which was my second favorite anime of last year, together with Frieren. Yeah, my home hero. It's really good anime. Returning to Fable, it's about a legendary hitman. So it's essentially an anime about a sabbatical year of a legendary hitman together with this woman, in which both will be punished if they commit killings. It's essentially a comedy about organized crime. It's probably more of a seinen demographic. I'm really interested into watching this one because I've been really liking Tezuka Productions' works more recently. They've been more focused towards the adult public, and this is good. It breaks a little bit of the expectations of what anime for the youth can provide. Anyway, in both ways, you can have good and bad titles, but the ones I've been seeing from the studio has caught my attention and really enlightened me with the experiences that they've provided. Next up, we have a Jump manga. I think, yes, Shonen Jump Weekly. Mission Yozakura Family. High school student Taiyo Asano has been socially inept ever since his family died in a car crash. The only person he can probably interact with is his childhood friend, the head of the world's largest, strongest family of spies. Now that he knows of her family, his love becomes lethal, and then he becomes the next target of the family. To survive, he must marry her and become a member of the family, but to become a member of the family, he must also become a spy. So we have hints of many different things that have been popular in recent titles, like spy, family, you know what. I'm not sure if I will watch this, but it's on the list. It's something that I recommend, especially because it's a Shonen Jump title. The first time I saw this listed, I didn't know it was from Shonen Jump. But you know, Shonen Jump is popular, and this might get more traction and attention just because it is a Shonen Jump title. Essentially, it's also by Studio Silver Link. We have staff from the Fate spin-offs and Jahi Sama, which is a comedy that I really like. On the comedy department, it will probably not miss. So if you're looking for a more shonen-like anime with lots of comedy, we have a good staff. We have interesting source material, if you know what I mean. And the studio, if you don't know their other works, they made a bunch of things. They made actually a bunch of things. Fate-related, lots and lots of comedies, and some isekai. If I'm not mistaken, they also did an anime that I literally just finished. Yeah, they made Hokkaido Girls Are Super Cute. It's a really nice comedy anime. It's more to the romance, slice of life style. But again, this will naturally have romance because we're talking about from marriage, and lots of comedy from the context. So if you're looking for that, I don't think you'll miss in this opportunity. Next, we have an anime about a girl who spends nights at Shibuya, a place overflowing with identity, while she's not able to become anyone. This is the second anime that I mentioned that's probably like related to music because of the trailer. It's very artsy. The animation especially looks incredibly beautiful. And it's from Studio Doga Kobo, who made Oshinoko and My Senpai is Annoying. But the thing that most caught my attention here is the sound director Eriko Kimura. She has a colossal curriculum. She worked on amazing works like The Wind Rises from Studio Ghibli, Ponyo, more Ghibli movies, Gundam Unicorn, Hathaway, Yofukashi no Uta, which is on the South Department, a godlike experience, Devilman Crybaby, even more stuff like Tengoku Daimakyo. This anime will sound amazing, even if it's shit. So I do recommend giving it a try. Probably a must watch. We'll see from the first few episodes, but if it starts good, it will probably go in a really interesting direction. Next is my darling love gacha anime. I've been expecting this for a while. Blue Archive is finally becoming an animation. This will probably tackle the first arc of the game. It's a game about military-like schools. I can read the synopsis to illuminate everyone about it. The city's academies are divided into their own districts and are considered mostly independent. The General Student Council acts as governing board to manage the academies as a whole. However, the group's ability to govern has come to a halt since the mysterious disappearance of the council president. Countless issues have begun to surface through Kivotos in the absence of the president's leadership. To avoid a disaster, the council requests assistance from the Federal Investigation Club, otherwise known as SHAL. In fact, the SHAL is the city's newest club and the last to be approved before the disappearance. To accomplish this task, SHAL relies on the guidance of a sensei who can help them resolve the incidents around Kivotos. Students are required to carry personal weapons and smartphones. Get a taste of the military action, love, and friendship the Academy City has to offer. Blue Archive is literally peak fiction. The game story is freaking insane. I really like it. It's probably the better one of the better stories around gacha games. I know that may sound a little bit degenerate, but I don't give two shits. And I really want to see this adapted into anime, because if it works and it has success, it can track sequels to the other arcs of the story, which are fantastic, like Book 3 and the final act. I really want to see this work. Is, as I mentioned on the other animates by Yostar Pictures, it's Studio Candy Box as well. The cast is already insane. We have the design of Sensei officially released because it never existed before, and his voice actor is absolutely addicted to the game. So we can see a passion coming from the staff. We can see a passion coming from the voice actors, and it's a story that's really good, generally as content. So this could really become a really good anime, even though it's a game adaptation, which usually don't work out. But we'll have to see. From the trailers, it already really looks like enough to be something with sustain that could keep going on to new sequels and new seasons. It has my personal seal of approval, and it's going to be one of my personal must-watch for this season. So if you can, please watch Blue Archive. I want this shit to work. Next, we have an anime that's not an isekai. It's more of a fantasy title from a light novel called Unnamed Memory. It's about a guy that's basically cursed with losing whichever woman he chooses to be his wife. He then meets this girl that probably can survive that curse, and then they go together on a research, on a quest to find out how he can relieve himself of this. Thematically, it looks interesting. The animation is modest enough to probably sustain the context. It's from Studio Engi that made Uzaki-chan and The Experienced You and The Inexperienced Me. And the director worked with Hajime no Ippo, Evangelion, Fullmetal, and more. So from the director, it seems could be good. And the context is interesting. The character design is also really good. So it might be worth a shot, even at 1 to 3 episodes, just to see if it's your cup of tea or not. We'll see if it eventually gets good. But as a fantasy anime, have been getting better with recent time, and this could be another good example. Next up, we have a mystery anime, Kaito Otome to Kami Kakushi. I think the English name is Mysterious Disappearances. There's this busty girl, which is a bookstore clerk and also a writer, and this really weird dude that works with her. They both go on a flirtatious adventure to discover the mysterious disappearances and weird occurrences in their town. The animation seems really solid. From the trailer, it seems at least visually interesting. It's a nice proposition. I really like mystery anime, supernatural, let's say. It's from Studio Zero G that made Rikekoi, which is one of my favorite slice of life anime ever, and Grand Blue. So it might be something interesting. I wouldn't call it a must watch, but something to keep on your radar to see if people are liking after release, because if so, it's probably going to be really good. Next, we have one anime that's another Shonen Jump title, Kaiju number 8. It's a really popular Shonen Jump manga that's finally becoming anime. It took a while for them to adapt this. It's being made by Production IG. Some people are saying that the visuals look too funny, not too close to the manga, but for now it seems enough for me. We have a really nice cast like Fyro Ai and some other people like Masaya Fukunishi. The animation seems really solid. The premise seems really good. I'm just mad insane they asked One Republic to make the ending, but whatever. This is definitely one of the must-watch anime of the season. And with this, we finish all the new series. There are actually 4 continuations I just want to cover slightly. These videos of mine are usually to talk about what's new that's coming. I don't think it's really worth to talk a lot about anime that are getting new seasons, because most of them either you already started or a seasonal video is not what you're going to look for to see if they are worth watching or not. But I'll at least tackle on superficially. Boku no Hero is getting the 7th season. It's my most expected, one of my most expected titles of the season. Season 6 made Boku no Hero become what it was in the beginning, in quality terms and in context terms, where lots of stuff are about to happen. Lots of stuff happened in season 6. It's probably my favorite modern shonen, even though people trash on it, because it had a couple of seasons that were more on the slice of life kind of type of story, which kind of downgraded people's opinion. But to me, it was and still is really, really good. So I do recommend people, if you didn't start watching Boku no Hero in 2024, I don't know what you're doing with your life. But please, if you started and stopped, try to catch up, because season 6 was good and season 7 is looking better than that. Also, the opening is by TK from Link Toshite Shigure, which is one of my favorite musicians of all time. So please watch this. It's going to come a little bit later. It starts only in May, so you have the time to catch up if you didn't already. But Demon Slayer, I don't know what to say. Season 4, you do you. I don't care a lot. I'll just watch it because I have to. This one is really nice. The Duke of Death and his Maid is coming to a season 3. Really good anime, CG anime by JC Steph. It sounds bad, but it isn't. It's really interesting visually because they chose a really nice art style for it. So it's a simple art style that matches the quality of the animation. It's not the best animation in the world, but it's pretty. And since it's a more contemplative story, it doesn't have nor need a lot of action, which can be handled by JC Staff's port. It's the third season. I didn't even finish the second one, but I know it's good and I know it's worth it. So if you want to watch something like this, it's basically a romance about this duke that can't be touched, and if he touches someone he will die, and his loving Maid, and the love that they will achieve someday. And to finish it out, Mushoku Tensei Jobless Reincarnation Season 2 Part 2. Again, I cannot say a lot because if you haven't watched it, you're just going to lose time here. There are better places for you to see if Mushoku Tensei is worth watching or not. The only thing I can say, it's probably one of the best sequels of the season. If you like isekai, this is probably the best isekai out there. It's better than Re:Zero hundreds of times. I don't really like isekai a lot. I don't know if you want to catch up or not. It already started a new season on March 30th. So this is it. This was a little bit of my rambling around the spring 2024 season of anime. If you liked it, don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment on this video, and follow me around the internet for more shenanigans. I will try to post more videos soon. I've been burned out of life recently. Peace out.